Hey friends, welcome. Alan Lee here with the Handyman Journey. We are joined by Jason Call with Handyman Web Design. We are here on our bi-monthly live marketing video that we do. We do these videos twice a month, every other Tuesday around 11:20 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So appreciate y'all tuning in. We are using StreamYard. So if you are tuning in on Facebook, you will need to grant StreamYard access to see your Facebook profile name, so that we can see who you are in the chat section. So welcome, guys. If you are chiming in here, let us know what your name is, where you're from, and do you have a handyman business or not over in the chat forum. We're just going to have an open chat. So this is going to be an open conversation. Any questions y'all got, anything you guys got to say, maybe you guys like my hair, maybe you like my uniform, whatever it is, just shoot it. Jason, maybe you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, I'm Jason with Handyman Web Design. So for work, I help handyman businesses get established online with a optimized website, great user experience, focus on conversions, and then all the digital marketing that can go along with that, from Google to Facebook to SEO to maps optimization, all that good stuff. So that's what I do, and that's why I'm here to kind of answer any burning marketing questions with Alan from you guys. I mean, even outside of digital, just from, I know Alan works obviously with handyman business owners every day. So do I. So we have a ton of just community experience, if you will, just all the communities of people we've worked with. I mean, there's tons of information that we've kind of rubbed shoulders on.
Definitely. Super excited to have you here, Jason. Jason is the marketing guru. So we got Timothy Cathy in the house. What's up, Timothy? One of the Business Builders members. What's up, man? We also got Mike Benner in the house, another Business Builder guy. Good to see you here, guys. And then we got Lucas with LTG Handiwork. What's up, Lucas? Good to see you here, man. And if you guys are just chiming in, go ahead and leave us a chat here, a comment saying who you are, where you're from, and do you have a handyman business or not. We would absolutely love to hear it. Just like we said before, for the new guys chiming in, this is an open conversation. So any questions you guys have, we are here to answer your questions specifically about handyman marketing, but we're open to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, whether that is, business related, personal related, whatever it is. And like we talked about earlier, there's a lot of new guys in here. So, we are using a streaming system called StreamYard. So if you are on Facebook, go ahead and allow StreamYard access to see your profile. And you can do that with the instructions above or below or to the side of this video, depending on how you're viewing it, to grant StreamYard access so that we can see your name in the chat section. We got Facebook user says, "What's up-o?" What's up, man? I can't see your name because you need to allow StreamYard access. But hey, guys, so we're going to get started here. As me or Jason's talking and you have any questions come up, feel free to ask them in the chat section. We are here for you and to answer any questions that you guys have. Let's see here. We got Timothy Cathy with our first question here. So like I said, if you've got questions, shoot them out here. Timothy says, is there a way to streamline the input of business information to the free online platforms? Maybe that's one for you, Jason.
Yeah. Yes, if I'm understanding your question right, Timothy. So there are basically online services that can streamline that whole process for you. So rather than going into 100 different sites, creating 100 different profiles, doing the same thing 100 different times, there's a variety of services that can do that for you for a fee, obviously. It's actually something that we do for anyone who is, we're doing like ongoing SEO for. The first thing that we do is we blast out their business information, uniform business information. So all the same data, website address, business categories, photos, all that stuff. We blast it out through a couple different platforms. So just if you're taking notes to follow instructions, Bright Local Citation Blast is a good service. They also have the 4 data aggregators, which is a whole separate thing. And then another service that's very popular is called Yext, Y-E-X-T. So yeah, those are basically services that will put your business information out there to a ton of free online platforms. And they do offer a variety of levels of service as far as like ongoing management and all that stuff. But for a baseline start, I would just start with like a bright local citation blast. Another popular company for that is Moz, M-O-Z. They have another citation building campaign thing. So anyway, definitely my recommended platforms to kind of look into to establish those free online platforms, because yes, there's literally over 100 of them.
Man, that's great. I'm glad you're here, because I don't know anything about that.
One more thing too, as far as like why that's important, guys, obviously like people can find you on the popular platforms. Believe it or not, people do look BBB, Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages has an online directory. Not only for people finding you on those specific platforms, but more from the reason why we do it as marketers is for SEO. So whenever you think about your business that a search engine looks at, you have like a folder essentially, and you want all these profiles with the exact same information to match up, because what that communicates to search engines is that you're a well-established business. So compared to another business that has like maybe 5 little profiles, like the popular ones, and then one that has 100 plus of like everything from mantra to yellow books to all that stuff, they seem a lot more credible and established. So therefore, their website should show. Their also a big part of it, not only for website optimization, but your actual Google Maps listing, your Maps optimization, consistent and volume of citations is one of the influencers to your business actually showing up in that map section in the local pack, in those top 3. When you search handyman near me, you want to be in that top 3. If I remember right, Timothy, you are there, man. So that's great. But doing like some citation building will kind of really help solidify that too. So that's the reason of why that's important, guys. Sorry, I kind of go off on that.
Yeah. Timothy, I believe, was it on our last group coaching call, you actually roasted his marketing, and he actually put up on those top 3 on Google, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Optimizing on different platforms will definitely help that. So that's awesome. That's really cool. So we had one question come in on Facebook just recently. It was from Dean Hazelwood. So if you're here, Dean, let us know you're here. It says, basically, how do you distinguish yourself to your potential customers? So I think the question for that is how to set yourself apart in regards to other handyman, right? There's many different handyman all around. In some cities, there's hundreds of other handymen that people could choose from. So why would someone want to choose your handyman business over, some other Joe Schmo handyman business, especially if your pricing is a little bit, on the higher end, right? And what we coach handymen every single day through our business builders coaching. And we coach them through a marketing strategy called the marketing funnel strategy. We have a whole class on that, but a little part of that is called the marketing filter. And I think that's one of the most important things. Jason actually came up with it in his smart mind there. And I kind of stole it from him. But basically, a marketing filter is your top 5 to 10 core values that you hold near to dear in your business. So these are the things that will make your business stand out, more than another guy, right? And so these are core values, kind of like, honesty, professionalism, timeliness, cleanliness, like whatever you feel that your business needs to stand for. Those are your core values, and that's basically your marketing filter. And your marketing filter, if you could think of it like a coffee filter or a strainer, that is what all of your marketing messages get filtered through. So every single thing you post on Facebook, every Yelp ad you make, every Facebook ad you make, every Google ad you make gets filtered through your core values. And so what I found through this is that when people call you from your ads, they call you because they see something specific in your ads, whether it is they see your professionalism, they see your timeliness, they see your cleanliness. They don't see a guy with raggedy holes in his shirt smoking a cigarette. They see someone who is dedicated to their work, dedicated to their client, and they call you because they're ready to have you work for them. Like, they may have seen other people's ads, they may have seen other people on Yelp, they may have seen other people on Google, but they recognize you as the leader in your industry, in your city, because you exemplify the core values that they want as well. Because a lot of times the core values that we have as people, other people hold those same core values. So for instance, like we have a pamphlet that we give to every single client. And at the bottom of the pamphlet is kind of our core values summed up into a few words, right? So it says dedicated to service, integrity, and compassion. Like that is what we hold near and dear to our hearts, the top three there. And a lot of times when people are looking for a handyman and they see something like that, they're like, wow, this guy's not just a handyman. He's like dedicated to compassion and integrity and service. Like, what does that look like? So it's just posing those questions and really getting that out there in your marketing so that people can see that and they want to work with you. You know, that's what you want to get overall, is you want people to want to work with you rather than you begging them, say, hey, please let me work for you and please give me your money. You know, they want to work with you. That's the most important. So Jason, do you have anything to say in regards to that?
Yeah, I guess just adding on to what Alan, like he has his like the filter that the three words that he mentioned. But every single time Alan shows up to give an estimate, he's in his uniform. He looks cleaned up. You know, he's got his truck with the magnet on and everything. He's friendly. He's upbeat. And he instantly kind of conveys the kind of business that they're going to be working with. And his price also aligns with that. So Alan can charge a premium price for handyman services because he's showing he's professional. They, you know, have all the marketing dialed in. So their image, their brand, it says like, hey, when you hire Honestly Handyman Services, yeah, you're going to be paying more than the competitors, or, you know, maybe above the average, but his ideal clients, they want that. They want to pay more for guaranteed, honest, good service. And so really, as far as like filtering, like getting back to your original question, if you consistently show up as like a professional, upbeat, and you have your pricing set where people that want that, they will pay you that price, then you're going to be able to find more of your ideal clients. And the thing about the beauty of like home services is that they're homeowners, most of them, and they run in similar circles they're connected with people that have similar mindsets and values. And so you're going to be referred to them. So, you know, if you really focus on just dialing in your ideal client that pays a premium price for your premium service, then, you know, just stick to that. And over time, like people are going to recognize that and pay, you know, what you're worth. So, but yeah, like Alan said, the filter and like the foundation, like understanding and identifying that for your own business helps kind of guide that whole process.
Definitely. That's spot on. We see Maui Steve's in the house. What's up, Maui?
Hey, Steve.
Good to see you. Jason, can you see the comments too?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if that was connected. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask them here. So Facebook user says, for Tim, I suggest you check out Express Update. I mentioned them in the frequently asked questions document uploaded in the file section of the group. Yeah, that's a great deal. The frequently asked questions document in the file section of the group is a great thing to look at for sure. He says, when we first opened our business, we shot through the ranks because we started as professionals out of the gate. Branded uniforms, decals, and real estimate programs help so much. Dude, that's like really key. And we teach people that all the time at the Handyman Journey Business Coaching, is that like the number one problem when people start up a handyman business is they start up a small business. They start up a business that's just them in a truck because they want to make some money, right? But big businesses, when they first started out, they didn't start out as small businesses. They started out, yeah, as small businesses in the physical, but with big businesses in mind. So they had the future in mind. So one thing that I love, and I always recommend this book, is The E-Myth Revisited. You know, he talks about the dude who started IBM. And, you know, he was saying that like when they first started IBM and it was a small company, they didn't act like a small company. They thought about, what is our company going to look like in 20, 30 years when it's done, what's that IBM going to look like? And that's how we're going to act today. So however your business is going to act in 10, 20, 30 years, that's how you need to act right now. So you see all those, big, like I think of one around here, this Bonnie Plumbing, Heating and Air. It's a big company. They have, I don't even know how many trucks they have. They probably have 100 trucks, run around, do plumbing, heating, electrical, a few other things. They have big trucks, nicely branded trucks, decals all around them, nice crisp uniforms. They hire guys, they pay them good money. They offer benefits. They have a warehouse, they have an office. Like, these are things that a big business does. And if we start our businesses and operate them as small businesses, they will be small businesses forever. So we need to start out of the gate, just like you said, Facebook user, that you need to start as professionals out of the gate. I think that's so smart. And I want to say you are spot on, right on it. I wish I knew your name. I can't see your name because it just says Facebook user. So what's your name, man? Just finished reading it today, a wealth of info and the perfect mindset to align yourself for success. You got anything to say to that, Jason?
No, my garbage man is coming, so my dogs are barking, so I apologize. I mean, I will say that the book is it's amazing. I mean, if you haven't read it, you have to. I was just talking to Alan about it, like before we fired up the live stream, about the E-Myth Revisited and how just every business owner needs to read it.
Definitely. Yeah. One of the things that I took from the E-Myth Revisited is just creating systems for your business. And I really got to experience those systems for the first time this last week. We went on vacation for the whole week. We were out of town, and for the first time in my business's existence, my business ran entirely 100% without me. Like, we were gone out of the state for part of it, and the business kept running perfectly. Money kept coming in. Money kept going into the bank account. New clients came in. They got estimates. They accepted estimates. They got put on the schedule. It's just absolutely phenomenal when you actually create systems for your business. Then your business can run without you. And that's what we teach people all the day long here at the Handyman Journey. We got Mr. Honda Kid. What's up? Says, hello, everybody. Alan, Jason, what licenses do you have? So me personally, I'm a handyman here in California. So technically there is no handyman license in California. There's only a contractor's license. So if you're not a contractor, if you don't have a contractor's license in California, you are called or referred to as whatever, an unlicensed contractor. So that's what I am. So there's no handyman license. There's no, it's either you're a licensed contractor or an unlicensed contractor. So for me as a handyman, an unlicensed contractor in the state of California, all I need to operate is a business license in the city I work in and a general liability insurance. So that's what I currently have. Laws, rules are different in every single state. Some states you can do you're pretty much a contractor just right out the gate. So do you, Jason, you were referred to in that, but I don't know what license you were.
Yeah, no, I don't run day-to-day operations for any handyman business, just the marketing. But I will say that it's a good question because you need to check with not only your state, but your county. And on the marketing side, you need to be sure of what you can and cannot say. So the most common things is plumbing and electrical. Those are the biggest in some states and some counties. That's a hard no. Like, if you're a handyman and you don't have the proper licensing in plumbing or electrical, you can't even have those words on your website, or else you could get a call from your local the contractor board. So it's a good thing to be knowledgeable about, so that you don't accidentally break any rules and accidentally get a big fat fee.
Yeah, that's very well said. And there's a bunch of guys tuning in right now. I wanted to let you know, go ahead and let us know in the chat section, what your name is, where you're located, and if you have a handyman business or not. We would love to get to know you and talk a little bit about you. We got some more questions coming in. So the Facebook user is Michael Bryant. What's up, Michael? Mr. Fix-It out of Washington. Good to see you, man. You're welcome, Mr. Honda Kid. Appreciate your question. We got a statement from Jack of All Trades. What's up, man? I like your name, Jack of All Trades. He says, good help is hard to find, or there is honestly or they are honestly too skilled to retain for the hourly rate you can pay them. Yes, so I would agree, but ultimately I would say we talk a lot about mentalities here, right? You have two choices. You can either choose a champion mentality or a victim mentality in every single thing. And as professionals looking forward to what our big businesses are going to be, that might be leaning a little bit more towards on the victim mentality. Yes, there's, it's hard to find people. It's hard to find people that are willing to work for what we can pay them, but we need to figure out a way to pay them a good salary so that they're willing to stay. And as your business grows, you can pay them more. So don't always just look at like, hey, right now, all I could afford is this. But, you could say, yeah, right now, all I could afford is this. But like in the future, like I see it just around the river bend, as Pocahontas said, right? It's the money is there, So we got another question here from Barrett Subtle. Hey, maybe I can show this. Hey, that's kind of cool. Barrett Subtle just tuned in. He says, what is the minimum liability insurance that you recommend? Most liability insurances come with a $1 million policy. So that would be my minimum that I would recommend. But I would always check with your state and local government, make sure that you are, properly insured and things like that. If your state, I don't know many states' laws other than California, but if your state requires more liability insurance than $1 million, I would make sure that you get on that because, you wouldn't want to violate anything like that. So you have any info on that, Jason, there?
No, not on liability insurance, no.
So Barrett is H&A Home Repairs out of Nashville, Tennessee. What's up, Barrett? Man, I'm glad that you're tuning in here. Let's see. Yeah. So Ryan Conrad says 1 million is typically the minimum, as Handyman has Barrett. Yes. So this is my buddy Ryan Conrad. He is local here in California, just around the corner from me, and he is a local insurance agent. So he's an awesome guy. It's cool, man. Cool seeing your picture there on the video screen, Ryan. Awesome. Yeah. So 1 million is typically the minimum. Yes. Let's see. Is this a question here? Let's see. Facebook user says one workaround so you can say electrical and plumbing is something you offer is by adding somewhere you have subcontractors. That's how we are able to advertise plumbing, for example. Okay, so that might be a little bit of like trying to skirt the wording things. Is that correct?
Yeah. Talking about, being careful not to mention plumbing or electrical, depending, of course, if the state or the county says we'll fine you if you do. As far as if that would work like in every single instance, I would certainly check with your local, the contractor board or the state board to see like, hey, can I say plumbing? And then we have subcontracted professionals to handle this for our customers. If you can, then sure. But right. I would at the end of the day, I would check because I talked to so many people that they have been fined or at least warned. I know, Alan, you've gotten a warning before.
I've never gotten a warning.
Oh, you've never gotten a warning?
Nope.
Oh, you were proactive about the $500 limit in California. That's right.
Yeah, we were proactive about it.
Yeah, so always just double check with your local board, the state. Just have everything dialed in. It's really not worth coming across some upset person or upset contractor that you're killing the game and taking all the business, and then they find a little infraction and you get reported. So it's just good to stay ahead of that stuff. Yeah,
you want to stay on the up and up no matter what. I mean, even today we had a guy, a client we installed an attic ladder for this morning. He's like, hey, do you guys do water heaters? And I said, no, we don't do water heaters because technically in the state of California, a handyman cannot do any work that requires a permit, and replacing a hot water heater requires a permit. I told him, I said, but there are a lot of handymen that do replace hot water heaters, but I'm like, that's not us. Like, we want to stay on the up and up at least as much as we can, so you gotta know the laws in your city, and you gotta do what's comfortable for you. Some people are perfectly comfortable replacing a hot water heater without a permit and doing it illegally in the state's eyes, because at the end of the day, like, what are the chances you're going to get caught? But stay on the up and up, because if you do get caught, it sucks, not only for you, but for your family, for your business, and possibly your future. So make sure you are following your state's laws. It's very important. Roger Z says, is general liability insurance mandatory? This is a broad question because it depends on what state you're in. I know in California, general liability insurance is mandatory. I don't know about other states, but I would highly recommend that you get it. You should never do any handyman work without having general liability insurance. I remember when I was still working as an auto mechanic, and there was this contractor that went to my church, and he was kind of my mentor as I got into the handyman business. And I wanted to work with him one day and shadow him and basically like see how his contracting business was going and help him. I think we were going to build a front porch that day. And I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to come with you. And then we had it all planned out. And he's like, oh, do you have general liability insurance? And I'm like, no, like, why do I need that? He's like, well, I can't let you use any of my tools without general liability insurance. And I'm like I totally thought he was a stickler. I was kind of mad at him. So I ended up not going, but then I got general liability insurance, so I was able to go later. But it's just something that covers you and your clients. Like, just make sure that you are covered, because it would suck if you were not insured and something happened. So you got anything to say to that, Jason? Or
no, I think you got it dialed in, man.
I just don't want to cut you off. I know we were making that marketing deal one time, and I totally just like blew right past you, and you had something awesome to say. So
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I think your advice on it's pretty solid.
Awesome. And we got Jack of all trades says he's a residential home builder in Houston, Texas, looking to transition into my own handyman business. That's exciting, man. That's great. So Mr. Honda Kid said, Alan, do you still only accept work under $499? So this is getting to the California law, and it's interesting because there's a lot of gray area in the California law. And it's funny, I've even called the contractor state license board, and one guy will tell you this, one guy will tell you this, and another guy will tell you something completely different. So there's a lot of gray area, kind of like in a lot of things, right? If someone writes down a simple sentence, 3 people might take that sentence in a completely different manner. So the law in California states that if you're an unlicensed contractor, you cannot perform any project that is over $500 in materials and labor. So at that point, it gets into what's defined as a project, right? Some guys will say a project is all the work you do at a specific address. Some guys will say it's, a ceiling fan's a project, a kitchen faucet's a project, a bathroom faucet's a project, a bathroom fan's a different project. Like that's what some people would say, no, $500 per address per year. And I'm like, where does that even come from? Because I always rely back to the text. The law does not state anything about address, year, or anything or visit, anything like that. It just says $500 per project, right? So the way that we have taken that and we have defined it for ourselves is to say that each thing is its own project, right? So a ceiling fan in this room is a project, assembling some furniture in this room is a project, cleaning the dryer vents a project. Now, obviously, if you have a bathroom remodel, you cannot break that up into small projects. That's one project, no matter how you look at it. You can't be like, I'm going to charge you $500 for the toilet, $500 for the tub, $500 for the tile, $500 for the vanity. You can't do that. That's illegal, right? At least in my eyes, right? So, yeah. You got anything to add to that, Jason?
No. I mean, like I said, not in the day-to-day operations of it, but I think that your translation of it's pretty solid. I mean, I could see like a flooring job throughout a whole house. Like, all right, well, this half of the room is a $500 project, and then the other half of the room is $500.
Right.
This board right here is $20 project.
Right. Yeah. And so the thing that I go about this is it's very interesting, and it kind of comes down to like how I am as a person and how I relate with other people. Like, I remember one time a gal called me up when I was first like new into the business. She called me up. She's like, hey, I need to install this Casablanca ceiling fan. And I said, and I was like, I had just started. So I'm like, I don't even know what the law is. I need to make sure I'm acting according to the law. So I looked up the fan. The fan was $475. And I remember telling her, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't install your fan. She's like, what do you mean? Aren't you a handyman? And I'm like, yeah, but I can only charge you $25 to install that thing. And I'd be losing money at that point because the materials was $475. And she's like, but I can't get a contractor to do it. It's too small of a job for a contractor. And you're telling me it's too big for a handyman. And I'm saying, well, take it up with your governor. Like, that sucks, you know? Like, that is horrible. So at this point in my life and business, I'm like, I'm going to install that ceiling fan because it sucks that the client is stuck in the middle of it's too small for a contractor but too big for a handyman. And if the CSLB wants to come arrest me for installing a ceiling fan, like, they can take me. Like, that just sucks. You know what I mean? That it seems very, I don't know. Whether or not you believe in what I'm saying, but that is that's the stance I take. So, okay, Facebook users Hazelwood Restoration and Repair in Ontario, Canada. Welcome, Canadians. Let's see here. Barrett Subtle says, I am at the point I'm considering employees. I'm thinking about setting my first employee as a subcontractor 1099. What are your thoughts? Barrett, I don't recall. Did Barrett tell us what state he was in?
Do you recall? Not that I recall.
Oh, yeah, he's in Tennessee. So, Barrett, I would figure out what your state laws are on that because things are a little tricky for 1099s getting with W-2s because here in California, they want, if you're paying someone for services, they want you to be paying Social Security taxes, unemployment taxes, workers' compensation. Like, the government wants their money, right? So in that case, it's very, very hard to have a 1099 worker here in California and not cross that threshold into a W-2 employee. I still don't fully understand where that line is. Like, because if you have a 1099, you cannot tell them, okay, this is the job you're doing, and this is when you're doing it, and you have to wear this uniform, and you can't smoke around the house, and you have to talk to the customer. You can't tell them these things because that's the line you're crossing over to a W-2 employee. Because once you tell them what they're doing, when they're doing it, and they need to show up on time, you're now treating them like an employee. And to the state of California, at least from what I understand, I'm not an attorney, at least from what I understand, the state of California says you're treating them like an employee, so you should be paying workers' comp, unemployment, Social Security, things like that. So there's a lot of gray area and a fine line between that, and I don't want to get caught in backed unemployment taxes or backed Social Security. Like, that's going to suck. I don't want to be in debt to the state. So I used to do 1099 for about 3 years. I did 1099s. I had upwards of, I think, 4 guys working for me at one time. And since then, I decided just to go strictly W-2. And now all my employees are W-2 employees. I have no 1099s. It worked great for when I had it, but I always felt like I was walking on eggshells because I didn't know if I was treating them like a 1099 or an employee, So, Jason, do you have anything to say to that? I'm in California too. I know from my accounting people, they said that in California, to subcontract out, they have to actually be set up as a business. So if it's a person, even if they're just doing like a little bit of work for you, if they don't have, even if they're a sole proprietor, even this is just what I hear from the people that I trust with my books and all that, that for me to subcontract out to anyone in California, they have to actually have a business that's not a sole proprietorship. So, S Corp, LLC, whatever it is. So overall, there's more hurdles and more probably text about it in California than other states. So that's all I have to say on it. Just my own personal experience. Yeah, I would agree. I've heard that as well. And I know one independent contractor that we had was, here, Ryan's got some good info on it. Ryan says it also gets tricky because a 1099 is supposed to then have their own insurance, their own tools, their own hours, etc. That's very true. I know one 1099 guy we had, he had his own business, but I don't even think he had a business license, to be honest. I required all my 1099s to have their own general liability insurance, but they have their own tools, they have their own insurance, but I don't think they had their own business. And I was giving them jobs, and I'm like, go do this at this time. Like, and I was giving them, well, I gave one guy a uniform. Like, so I know I was breaking the law. And so, yeah, it gets very tricky. So at the end of the day, I know we're kind of all around there, Barrett. At the end of the day, I would just contact your city and state, make sure that you're on the up and up for that. So Ryan says, so if you bought your liability insurance for $1 million, it doesn't cover a separate entity, as Jason is explaining as I type it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if I was to have general liability insurance for Honestly Handyman, and Joe Schmo came to 1099 for me, right? My general liability would not cover him, like, because he's not me, you know. So yeah, that gets a little tricky here. So we got Evan Murray in the house. What's up? With Living Faith Handyman is in the house. That's awesome.
I love it when I love the guys that introduce like in the house.
In the house, yeah. He's like, I'm here. I'm ready to go. Love it, man. And if you guys got any questions at all for us, feel free to shoot them. This is kind of a marketing video, but we're talking about a lot more than just marketing. So,
yeah, I'm in over my head on the liability insurance stuff. I mean, I wasn't expecting to answer questions about subcontractors and W-2s, but it's all good stuff. Right. People are learning something.
This is fun. This is really cool. Yeah, and then, you know, like this Jason he's like our expert marketer. He handles everything for, you know, websites, SEO, and all kinds of like marketing stuff you don't even know or see, but stuff that's done behind the scenes to like make your business, like, it's so crazy. Like, my business here in Sacramento, Jason's been running my marketing for 4 years now, and it's now surpassing Mr. Handyman in Sacramento. Like, it's awesome, you know, like, he's killing it. So he's expert marketer, you know. What I do currently is I run a handyman business, and I also run a handyman business consulting business where we coach handyman businesses from all around the world, either how to create a handyman business or take their business to the next level. What we've currently started is a business builders membership, where it's a private group, a lot smaller than our mastermind. And it's people who are just focused on building a business with W-2 employees. So it's been absolutely phenomenal because we've seen a lot of really cool results. We're actually having our next group coaching call tonight. We have bi-monthly group coaching calls. And that's going to be really cool. We're going to be talking about gross revenue and how to track gross revenue and how to increase gross revenue and dollars per RO. So I'm really excited for that, just to see, you know, kind of how the guys take with that and what they're, you know, how they can apply that in their own businesses. So it's pretty exciting. Mr. Honda Kid says, Alan, how do you see the market for handyman in the coming year? Is this field of work recession proof? What are you doing to prepare? Jason, do you have anything on that, or?
Yeah, definitely. So most, I would say 99% of our customers, people I've talked to since the whole COVID thing happened, they have been just breaking records, just growing, seeing tons of business, tons of leads, which, you know, it's kind of a unique situation. I mean, because it's, you know, it's never happened, like the whole COVID stuff,
right.
But it's certainly a sign just from, again, just everything that I hear is that in this kind of time, homeowners are calling up and they want stuff repaired around their house that they've probably been putting off. They're in their house a lot more, so they want to remodel their office, whatever it may be. Because I know certainly, like when March came around, I was worried for all my customers, because it's like, what is going to happen to the market with all this stuff? But there was certainly a time where it kind of like dampened for a week or two, when people were just kind of trying to figure stuff out. But it's just taken off since then. So just from my experience in this recent COVID thing, it is a great industry to be in, the home improvement industry.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say, I'll answer your second question first. Is this field of work recession proof? I think you can make it recession proof, but I don't think anything is 100% recession proof. You know, crap happens all the time, but I think the key is establishing yourself as a big business. If you think of yourself as a small business and think, oh, this is all I could do, this is all I could do, this is all I could afford, I can't do that because I can't afford it, I can't do that, You know, if you have this victim mentality about your business, anything will crush your business. You need to have, I believe America was built on entrepreneurs, not just any entrepreneurs that were forward focused, big focused, right? In America, we have created so many businesses, so many industries that were never there before. And it's because we were that forward focused people. And so I think if we continue to have that forward focused on our businesses, I think nothing will stop us. I think we need to continue moving forward. And I think the biggest thing is what we talk about in the marketing funnel strategy class, is that what you do today doesn't fully pay off for 90 days. So if you think winter's going to be slow, if you think a recession's coming, you need to be investing now. And what I mean by investing is upping your marketing, upping your business strategies, your business systems. You need to be doing that now. Like, when people don't think about marketing until the dead of winter, December, when people stop calling. They're like, oh, maybe I should start marketing. No, that's not how marketing works. Marketing works by investing in your business before the slow times come. So that is the most important thing, is having that champion mentality, always be thinking forward so that you are ready to ride the waves when they come. I'm not saying that there's not going to be hard times, because there is going to be hard times. So that's kind of what I'm doing to prepare. What I'm doing to prepare is always moving forward, no matter what. During this COVID thing, like, it's so crazy, because when we did a what was it, back in February, March, April, May. In May, we did a marketing funnel strategy class on Facebook, and it was so crazy because there was guys in there that were ready to close their business down because of COVID. There was guys in our group that were applying for the SBA loans, that were closing their businesses down because of COVID, right? That first few weeks into months was very hard for a lot of people in different states, because they were affected different ways, and people were closing their business down. But when we launched this group, we saw so much success in such a short amount of time that we launched another class, and then another class, and then that turned into our Business Builders membership. Like, now we are guiding, we have about 25 guys right now. We are guiding them in creating a business that will outlast anything. It's so crazy. Like, when you take a select few that are focused on the future, and they're like, I don't care what's happening now, I'm going to keep going. Because I remember at the beginning of COVID, I was teaching guys, what if this is the new normal, right? Because guys were like, oh, I'm going to hold off on marketing until, people come back around and we start figuring out what's going on, or we get back to normal. We have to, stop wearing masks, or we're not worried about COVID. I said, what if this is the new normal, right? What if it is? Because if you live life in that way, that what if this is the new normal, you're always looking at, what can I do to maximize what's going on right now? And that's how success happens. So how do you see the market for Handyman coming in the coming year? I think awesome, but ultimately it depends on you, because you are the one leading your business. So you have the ultimate choice in deciding if your business is going to make it next year or fail. Like, that's some hard truth, but you are in control of that. Okay. Wow, that was a long answer.
I want to say too, just on this general note, I think that the handyman services, home repair industry will eventually be where you see HVAC now, where you see electrical companies. Like, every single town, even small towns, there's at least 1, 2, 3 HVAC companies that are just killing it. They have at least 10, 20, 30 employees, and they service a 15,000 population town. And they've got a robust marketing. They're doing mailers. They're doing website, you name it. They're doing all of it because there's so much work to be done out there. There's not too many HVAC. They're not plumbers. It's just, there's so many of them because there's so much work. And what I've seen even over the last 3 years of just working with handyman businesses is that the industry is really growing up into some more like mature home services industries, moving HVAC, electrical, plumbing, where they make super good money, but they've got their business set up and they're thinking like a bigger business where they can command that price, and they have everything dialed in where they provide a great customer experience. And anyway, overall, I see the industry, home repair industry, moving in that direction, moving more into like maintenance plans too, for like Alan has a maintenance plan. Like, it's just another kind of home service that everyone needs. You need a plumber, you need your HVAC company, you need your electrician, you need your home repair service more than anything. So I would say it could be bigger than HVAC. I mean, truly, it's a great industry to be in. It's young and it's growing, and I think there's a lot of opportunity to kind of take over your local area and then go from there.
Yep, man. Oh man, this gets me so excited, seriously, because that is the vision behind the Handyman Journey business coaching. Like, we here are creating a new industry, just like the HVAC industry, just like the plumbing, just like the electrical. Like, hop on this Handyman Journey business coaching train, man. This is going to be so exciting. Like, seriously, if you are not plugged into our Business Builders Essentials program right now, you need to get on that, because we are creating that, what the HVAC is now. Like, we are creating that. And it is so exciting to see just the excitement in that. Like, oh man, this just gets me so pumped up. I love it, Jason. That's so good. Okay, so we got so behind on questions because of my long rant, so I'm sorry, guys. WCCG says, do you ever run coupons or specials like the chain type service companies? So we run occasional coupons, but the kind of long running kind of coupon that we put in estimates is we have a gutter cleaning proactive maintenance is what we call it. So it's a way of, and we're going to be talking about that a lot in our group coaching call tonight in our private business builders group. We're going to be talking about growing gross revenue and dollars per RO and things like that. And one of the things that we do at Honestly Handyman is we offer a proactive maintenance discount for gutter cleaning. So while we're at their house, if we're doing other work, if we can clean their gutters while we're there, we will clean up to 120 square feet or 120 linear feet of gutter for $100 rather than $180. So it's a little bit of a discount, but it boosts our dollars per RO if we can sell multiples of those throughout the week and month. So that's kind of the ongoing one that we run. But Jason, do you have any input on that?
Yeah, and just something that Alan kind of like indirectly touched on is he's paying attention to lifetime value of a customer. So I know there's some people that just say, like, I don't offer any discounts because I'm worth what I'm worth. That's awesome. But when you're marketing to new customers, they don't know you. They probably won't take the time to even research your reviews and look at how awesome you are. So running a special or having some ongoing kind of hook to bring new people into your brand, into your world that are just going to use you for forever. Running a special or a coupon or something is good, because when you think about the mailers you get, when you think about Facebook ads, it's not just like, hey, I'm Alan with Honestly, like, contact me. It's like, hey, get like $50 off your gutter cleaning and, you know, all this. It's kind of like this, it's something that draws people in. It's kind of the hook. And there's also some like scarcity there from a marketing perspective of like, ooh, well, I can get $50 off my, you know, home repair. That's probably not going to last for forever. And I've got this burning thing on my mind. I'm going to do it. So on the note of like specials, using a special, especially for like cold outreach or just new advertising for new customers, highly recommend always having some kind of hook in any paid ad you do, especially because if you're paying to get it in front of somebody, you want it to be attractive to at least get them in your sales funnel, get their email, get their phone number, something. And having a special or coupon is going to really maximize any marketing dollars you're putting into that campaign. So yeah, I'm big believer in it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Sorry, I'm trying to read these comments and see, because we're like so far behind.
Real quick on that one too. I mean, I know we mentioned this pretty much in every call, like marketing on a budget. You can get a free website from Google. So set up a Google My Business, go to business.google.com. I do have an optimization guide on handymanwebdesign.com that can kind of just walk you through that. Set up that profile. There's a website tab. You can get a free website. Set up your Facebook business, a free Yelp profile, a handful of other free accounts. And then really some great affordable marketing is, which is kind of difficult depending on where you're at, is networking, getting in with your local chamber of commerce, realtor associations, very affordable way to meet potential clients or kind of influencers in your community that know a bunch of people that need a handyman, because everybody needs a handyman. So anyway, those are a few just ideas for marketing on a budget.
hmm Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Barrett says, thank you both. And thank you, Ryan. I'm sorry, I just found you. What all do you do to offer as far as helping grow small skilled trade businesses? So yeah, I'm Alan Lee. I own and operate a handyman business here in California. But I also run the Handyman Journey business coaching. And like I said, highlighted before, we have a Business Builders Essentials membership, which is a private business builders group. If you are interested in learning more information about that, send me a private message on Facebook or send me an email at handymanjourney@gmail.com. Again, that's handymanjourney@gmail.com. Jason is a marketing whiz, and he does marketing strictly for handyman businesses. He creates handyman websites that are specifically geared towards what handymen need to intake clients and also get new clients. And then also does many steps above that. He does, SEO optimization for handyman businesses and stuff like that. Maybe you got anything else to say about that, Jason, there? I know you do a whole lot more than that. So
yeah, I mean, overall, it's just helping handyman businesses get their online marketing right so it can work for them. And it's a system that you own, and really just helping people set up their own business systems related to marketing to bring in leads. So
yeah,
tons of stuff in that.
And you can get in contact with Jason over at handymanwebdesign.com. There's a lead capture forum that you can request question and stuff there if you need any. So Timothy Cathy says, I have personally seen a 25 to 30% increase in business after the initial scare of COVID-19. I would say that the same for us here. I don't know about the exact percentage, but it's been a lot. And I've heard about the same throughout the country. I know that there's certain areas, New York, Florida, things like that, that might have, still some implications going on from COVID. But it's ultimately it's ultimately been a blessing. But that, I believe COVID-19 is different than a recession, because COVID-19, for the most part, people are still working, right? There's a lot of people that lost their job, but there's still a lot of people working, and they're just working from home. So instead of going on vacations or, taking that airplane ride to go see their family or something, they don't want to do that because they're stuck at home with COVID. So they have money to spend, and they see what needs to be done around their house. So that's a little bit different than like a full-blown recession where you got a lot of people that aren't working, and there's just not money going around. The economy's not good, and it's not being flown around. So, I think it's important to make that distinction that I don't think we're in a recession. I mean, maybe we're in a weird spot right now that's never been seen for sure, but I don't know about a recession. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm trying to read the comments and figure out which one I want to put on the screen here. You see any that you want to highlight on, Jason?
Mike Benner has a pretty solid question about holiday cards.
Right here. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, here's my personal take on this, is that an advantage of small businesses compared to the big guys. So let's just say like Mr. Handyman, just a franchise, advantage of small businesses over their larger competitors, over anybody else, is that you can be personal. There's more story, there's more why, there's more passion in what you're doing, because it's less like corporate. So my advice to businesses is always, if you're comfortable with it, take the personal route. So like out of those three options, Mike, I would say like a nice family photo with your logo. It looks professional. Actually, probably an influence of why I say that is I get a Christmas card every year from a local automotive shop that my wife takes her car to one, I take my car to the other. But these guys, they send out a holiday card, and it's their family, and it's like a pretty solid shop. I mean, it's probably like 15 to 20 people that work there, and they send out something with like their family. Something about that, like I just remember them, and they are true to their brand too. They're very friendly, very family oriented. The owner actually like came out on his lunch to help me with my car like years ago. Like they live up to it. And I feel like the family photo for the holiday card works well for them. Certainly, if not the family photo, then you and the employees, because people love people. You know, your logo, awesome. It's important. A logo is important, but people want to see people. People love people. That's why Facebook's so popular, because you're connected with other people. So I would say the family photo or employee photo. And then just another like tip to anybody listening is, you know, opportunities to be personal, to make that connection with anyone looking you up. It's just a huge advantage that you have as a local small business owner.
Mm-hmm. So good. So good. I remember the first year I was in business, we sent out a Christmas card. And it was fun, but I totally didn't know I didn't even have my branding set up. So I remember we sent it out and we were saying like, it looked like a wedding announcement, kind of like it was just so weird. Like it was a weird picture with me and my wife, and then a weird picture of me working at our house, but the lighting was horrible. So it kind of looked like I was like a creeper. Like it was very interesting. But yeah, so what we do, we give this pamphlet out to every single client that we meet with, right? And on the inside of the client at the inside of the pamphlet has a picture of us, and then a little info about our business with a 22-point home maintenance inspection, and then we have our employees on the back. And it's just kind of a cool touch there. And then we also have a follow-up. So everybody we work for gets a thank you card. And then if they sign up with a VIP coupon club, they get a birthday card every year for their birthday. So just, those random things that are abnormal will set you apart, so that's important.
Yeah, Canva.com is a great graphic design resource too for quick do-it-yourself stuff that you will look like a pro. Like you will be impressed with yourself because Canva makes it so easy. So just a design tool out there for whether it's a card or a graphic, Facebook cover, whatever it is. Canva.com has templates and is just like the most useful thing. It's a graphic design for dummies is what comes to mind for me.
Definitely. And I'm a dummy when it comes to it. So it works
Me
great
too,
for me.
buddy.
So yeah, Timothy, Kathy, just going back to our deal about the COVID-19 and all that. So you can invest in marketing, take a class to grow yourself. There's always something that you can invest in. I think personally, like one of my things is like your business growth will follow your personal growth. So if you're not growing as a person, your business is not going to grow. And that's just the matter of the fact. So if you feel like you're lacking, if you feel like you need more business, maybe you need to invest in yourself a little bit more, and maybe for a lot of people, invest in your mentality. Like, as a lot of people are down in the dumps about themselves. They're like, oh, poor me. Like, no one will call. Like, I can't get any work for what I need to make. Like, you're worth it, man. You're great. God made you for a specific purpose. I need you to hear that. God made you for a specific purpose, and he's put you on this planet for that purpose, and go out and find that purpose and fulfill that mission, because you guys are all needed. We need y'all. Okay. Ryan Conrad says, I'm not here to sell anything, just to support my friend Alan. And since I happen to do insurance for a living, figured I would chime in. Ryan, thanks, man. We appreciate your wisdom. Maybe you ought to be a, handyman insurance.com or something like that. We could get you in on here, Ryan. Let's see here. Oh, I love this code right here. Guys, I live by a code. The only way you lose is to give up. Until then, you just have to want it.
You haven't won yet.
Oh, you haven't won yet. Okay,
Nailed it.
That went over my head. I like it. Mr. Honda Kid says, thanks a million, Alan, Jason. You are all rock stars. Hey, you guys are rock stars. You're watching this video, so we appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Thank you. That was a fast talk, LOL. Do you have a link? You guys are terrific. Yeah, this will be on YouTube and on Facebook here, and we also upload it into our Business Builders Essentials membership. Jason, this one's for you.
Well, my name is Jason Call. Handymanwebdesign.com is most people like we have a free strategy session. So if you fill out your information, you can book a call and we can go over, all the marketing you have going on and kind of just give you our recommendations of how to proceed in the best way possible. So that would be how I'd respond to that.
Yeah. Barrett Subtle says, thank you. Will your training and advice you teach work the same in Tennessee as California? Yes. So we have handymen that we teach from literally all around the world. One guy actually just joined our business builders class from Peru. So there's guys all around the world that this stuff is applicable for. Let's see. This guy says what.com.
Yeah, I'm like laughing at myself. Like, I'm not here to make sense. Like, I'm here to help people, really. But when people ask for my contact information, you know,
I don't know. Maybe you're not giving them a sales pitch.
Yeah, maybe like handymanwebdesign.com is what you're looking for. Yeah, but like I said, I'm here to help guys. So, you know, whatever questions you have.
They want to know how to contact you.
I know I'm getting roasted here live.
Come on, Jason.
That's something I know. What I think you actually recommended a book, Alan. You've talked about promoting yourself. You know, that's certainly something that I lack in. So it's funny that I'm getting roasted here on that subject. I appreciate that, man.
This guy's asking for the graphic design.
Oh, graphic design. Canva.com. That I do not get paid anything for. I use canva.com, canva.com. Yeah, for graphic design. So most like the top level stuff that you should just go into Canva right now, because it's probably going to be better than what you have, is a Facebook cover photo. You can even create like Facebook post designs. You can create designs there for ads, for flyers, pamphlets, business cards. I mean, I designed my first business cards on there. It's just an amazing graphic design platform. It's free, and you don't need to be an artist at all to be able to make something look nice.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it. Mike Bender says, thanks. Gonna get a photographer to take some company photos soon. I haven't officially introduced employees yet. This will be a great way. Yeah, man, for sure. That's excellent. Wow, this has been an awesome call. Totally not really what we planned on, Jason, but I'm loving it.
That's life, man.
Yeah. I'm looking back at the comments to see if there's any ones that we missed here. I think we got everything. So appreciate y'all tuning in. You guys have been fantastic. This has been a really fun video. Like we talked about before, if you're interested in some, one-on-one accountability, we are doing a group coaching call this evening at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but that's only open to people in our private group, Business Builders group. So if you're interested in that, send me a PM or send me an email at handymanjourney@gmail.com. And if you are interested at all in talking to someone about marketing more, getting someone to do a website for you, get someone to do some SEO work for your business, highly recommend you contact Jason Call at handymanwebdesign.com. He's the best in his field, so he's the guy. So thank you all so much. We're going to be chiming out here. Jason, you got any last words to say to the crowd here?
No, it's fun. It was really fun, guys. I enjoy these every couple of weeks. So I guess the last thing I would say is if over the next few weeks, if you have questions, anything that comes to mind related to marketing, I mean, just jot them down or post them in the Handyman Journey group or send them to Alan. We're always like, we jump on like quickly before and we're like, what are we going to talk about? Like, we need to find some questions. So if you guys could help us out and send us questions over the few weeks, I mean, that's why we do these. We're here to help. So let us know and we'll just give you our perspectives on whatever questions you got.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So thank you all so much. Love you all. We'll catch you on the next one. So you guys have a great day.